Hi, I'm Dominic Rose from Vibedu, and in today's video, let's discuss about how to write a good email. And as you all know, in today's world, email is the most common form of communication. And for you students, this email communication is a must when you join a university, wherein you will have to submit your assignments, you have to submit your projects, and if you want to do an internship, you will have to send an email to a particular company. So, email communication is so important for the students who are doing their UG and PG in universities. I used to receive emails from students who are sending their documents for us to verification and for applying to universities. But then the saddest part is I don't know whether they have been knowingly or unknowingly doing it. They just send a blank email with the documents attached, or else they will do some kind of subjects wherein no, it's like as if it's like a text message. The reason is nowadays most of them use this WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram. So what happens is everything is being text, and that same text language is only used in the email also, which is very unprofessional. And when it comes to university, the professors or whoever is receiving it will take it very seriously. So we thought, okay, why can't we give small updates with regards to email etiquettes? Let's begin with the subject, that is the subject line. We used to receive applications from candidates for a job, and what happens is we just see subject is resume, and then the content is there, and the PDF is there. So, see, you should give a very good subject line. For example, if a student is going for an internship for particular company, you have to mention in the subject as application for an internship in your organization. Or if you're going applying for a job, you have to put as application for the job. So the subject line is the most important part of an email. After the subject line, it's the addressing the recipient. We have to address the recipient correctly. Generally, what we do is, so we won't know who is the recipient who's going to read this mail. So what we generally write is dear sir slash madam, or even we mention at whomsoever it may concern. Actually, that's not the proper way of addressing the recipient. You have to find out who is the person who is receiving the email or reading the email, and accordingly you will have to address them. For example, if you are applying for a job to a particular company, you should mention as dear hiring manager. Or if you are writing an email to your professor, dear professor or respected professor. This is the right way to address the recipient. Now, while sending a mail, you know the person who is going to read your mail, that maybe he or she, you know their name. So you have to address the person's name correctly. For example, you know a person receiving the mail is maybe Prakash or Susan. uh, you generally write like Mr. Prakash or Miss Susan, which is actually wrong. This part is very critical actually. The reason why is it depends on the relationship with the person you are having. Suppose if it is a friend or a colleague, what you can do is you can write hi Prakash or hi Susan, or dear Prakash or dear Susan. Suppose you are writing a very official mail to a particular person, maybe this Prakash and Susan, you don't have much connect and it is official, then you will have to address them as Dear Mr. Prakash Kumar or Dear Miss Susan Thomas. You have to mention the first name and the last name. You can even mention in your mail as uh, Dear Mr. Kumar or Dear Miss Thomas. You can mention the last name of the recipient. Both ways are okay and good. So once you have done with the subject line and you have done the addressing of the recipient. Next is the body of the email. And generally, most of them don't want or not in favor of reading long emails. So all you have to do is you should write a short email with whatever the content you have to deliver the message in a short email. And most of all, if you are thinking that you can use bullet points, please do use bullet points and you write the email. Once we have done with the body of the email, next will be the call to action. That is the last line what we mentioned is the call to the action. Generally, what happens is once we have drafted the email, towards the last line, we write, I look forward for your reply, or looking forward, a positive note, something like that. Instead, you can use a sentence like, no, I'm eager to receive your feedback on the report, or something like this. And this will give the reader a clear understanding of what you are looking. And also, you can ensure you will get more reply from this particular email. So, once you have done with it, always close your email with a positive greetings. For example, if you are writing an email on the beginning of the week, what you can do is just a simple note, have a great week. Or if you are writing it on the end of the week, say the weekend, you can mention, have a great weekend. So, a positive greetings at the end will always give a very, what do you say, a cheerful message to the reader, whatever the content may be. Once you are done with this greeting sentence, the next is your email signature. You should have a proper email signature. You cannot say just regards Priya or regards Thomas, whatever it is. You should have the email signature should be your name, your designation, your phone number, and your company name. So it has to be a proper professional email signature. Suppose if you are a student, then you will have to mention your name, your student ID, and which university. So always remember that you should have a professional email signature at the end of every email. Now let's talk about the attachments. When you are attaching a file, for example, if you are attaching a report or if you are attaching a resume, generally what happens is we just put resume and attach it in our email, or we just put some normal file name and we attach it in the email. So please don't do that. What you have to do is you have to rename it. Suppose if it is a report, or if it is a resume, you have to mention it properly. If it is a report, sales report, on mention the date, sales report hyphen 21 11 2022. If it is a resume, you attach the file, rename it as your name hyphen resume. The reason why is once you download this attachments, these files go to the download folder and you'll have to search where this file is. So it's always better to rename your attachment in a proper way and attach to the email. The next is, once you receive an email from anyone, no matter from the university or from your professors or from any company, make sure that you respond to the email so that the sender knows that you have gone through the email, read the email, and you are responding to it. Say a simple email, dear so and so, thank you for the mail and noted its content. Something like that. You have to always respond to each and every mail which you are receiving. And last but not the least, please don't use emojis in the email. Maybe you can use emojis if you are sending a mail to your friends, uh, close friends, but then not in a professional emails. So these are some of the main factors which has to be followed when drafting an email. And before sending the email, please do check everything, whether the email address is correct, the subject line is did properly, the content is there, if the attachment is being renamed and attached, and finally your email signature. So please make sure that you follow these rules for an email. So I hope this video was useful, and I request everyone to follow these simple rules when you are drafting an email. And I'm sure the receiver who is receiving your mail would be happy to see a professional mail from a professional person. So thank you for watching. Take care. Bye bye.